People, deluded, I'm back again. It's a Sunday morning, and yeah, man, we all know that Xavier, or as I refer to him, Xavier Amaechi, looks to be a Hamburg player. In fact, if it's been in the build up for a couple of days now, I didn't think it would happen, to be fair with you, because I would have thought certain people would have told me, but it is what it is. He looks to be officially completing that move now to Hamburg. Now, for me, I can't fault him. First and foremost, you lot know me. I preach young players' development and things like that. At the end of the day, competition is always going to be competition at Arsenal or any top six club, especially when you're playing up front or in the wide positions or the attacking third. If that's your sort of player, do you get it, people? You're always going to have that because you got Nelson, we had Amici, we obviously got Saka. There's talk of Pepe, and there'll be talk of in a season or two of another winger. So there is always going to be competition. Personally, I don't think Amici was scared of competition. I feel personally he probably felt a lack of love. He probably felt, okay, cool. If I'm as much as I love being at Arsenal, other players are getting a look in and I'm not. I can't really. My time probably will come, but I can't really wait for that. Let me go somewhere where I can make progress. And he looks to be joining Hamburg now. If I bring up David Ornstein's tweet, obviously allegedly rejected deals at Arsenal. He signed a 4-year deal with Hamburg for 2.5 million. Apparently, there's no buyback clause, but there's a sell-on clause with Arsenal that Arsenal will get, and there's performance-related add-ons. He will wear the number 17 shirt and be a first-team regular. So at the end of the day, he needs to leave under 23s football. Any talented player needs to leave under 23s football. I'm sure if the opportunity was here to get first team football at Arsenal, he would have. But listen to me, people. I'm not going to talk tough. There's a lot of it's been concluded, but there was a lot of politics in regards to Amici and Arsenal. So there's the politics. There's obviously the competition, which most people will look at. For me, he's cut a disillusioned figure for a while now. If you look at the last legs of the season, he looked like he didn't want to be there. He looked like he's going through the motions. He's obviously had some injury problems and whatnot. Of course, the Instagram diva antics, he probably shouldn't have done it, but he's 18. I'm sure you all done stupid stuff at 18, as did I. But at the end of the day, I salute the move. He'll be going to the second division in Germany. There's some tough teams in there. He's got Stuttgart. He's got a couple other teams. At the end of the day, people are always watching. First and foremost, before I get onto it, obviously you've heard Bayern Munich are linked with him. If he stays at Hamburg for a year or two, they get promoted or he plays well, Munich might come back in for him, or the Leipzigs or the Leverkusens or the other German clubs might come in for him. Obviously, there's also the move to England. For me, I just want him to prove Arsenal wrong. Prove Arsenal wrong in the sense of he should have been a guy like Saka that he's going on tour with, and all of these sort of things. Again, him not going on tour is directly correlated to the politics I'm referring to. People, it's sad. For me, people will hide behind his Instagram antics and all of these things, and the normal football fan can't see these things or doesn't know these things, so that's all they're inclined to believe. But it's not been his fault. There's been politics. He's been a pawn, and I'm happy that he's out of the situation and he's first and foremost able to just focus on football. It's not for me to say. One day everything will come out, but at the end of the day, he's going to a team where he can get his head down, play football. Obviously, he'll still get hyped up in Germany, but he's away from the English fans, the Arsenal fans in general that see 30-second clips and start moving mad. So he's allowed to go and he's allowed to develop out of the spotlight. First and foremost, it's going to make him develop even more because, yes, he's one of the most talented young players around in terms of potential in that from Arsenal. Yes, he's, in regards to the current theme of young English players going to Germany and whatnot, they'll recognise he's a young, exciting player. But at the end of the day, he's a first-team player now. They don't care that he's Amici, that he's Arsenal and whatnot. They just see a winger. Okay, are you going to get goals and assists? Of course, he needs to improve and develop and things, but that's what primarily they're going to look for, and that's what football's about. So that cutthroat nature of fighting for a first-team spot, fighting for your wages on a match day, he's going to get that. He's obviously going to play against seasoned pros where he's going to have to switch up his play. Some people, he's going to have them on strings and his skills are going to work. Other times, he's going to need to do smart 1-2s. Personally, I think if he stays fit and he improves his decision making in the final third, he could be a very good player. I'm sad to see him go. Obviously, for me, I want him to go out there and prove Arsenal wrong, like I said. But we've been here, man. Obviously, it stinks of Gnabry in the sense that I just said Munich and these clubs there will be monitoring him, very closely and his development. And to be honest, he's 18. If he has a good year or two at Hamburg, he'll only be 20, 21. He could still move to Leipzig, etc. And the Prem move will still be there. first and foremost, he's going to a team that believes in him, that he's going to get opportunities to play first team, maybe not straight away, but he's going to be involved in that setup. So you can't fault him. He went and found something that wasn't here at Arsenal, or wasn't going to be forthcoming to him at Arsenal. If it was, he couldn't see it. I mean, there's the task of working hard. You might be involved in the occasional cup games, and obviously Saka and Martinelli have come into the club. Martinelli's coming and Saka's ahead of you. You go elsewhere. Yes, there's still competition, but you've got to look at the pathway. What can he do for that in a year from now? He's developed as a player. It could have happened at Arsenal. I said in all my vids, Saka and Amaechi, they'd be the guys coming off the bench and getting look-ins next season. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. I wish him all the best. We've been down this route before of the Gnabry's, the Jeffs, the Chris Willocks. Many young players have left this club and are going to continue to leave this club. This season it is quite disappointing because I'm more disappointed in us losing Musa, to be fair with you, to Valencia. We've obviously lost a talented player in Amaechi. Of course, obviously, if Nelson hits the ground running, we've got Saka. We've got a couple other young players in the youth ranks on the flanks. Allegedly, Pepe's coming in. We might not necessarily miss Amaechi, but I think he can really develop into a good player, and I don't think his time in England's finished, to be fair. I think he can develop into a good player. I think Arsenal might come to regret this move. If I'm Amaechi, I want him to play to the ability in which Arsenal regret this move, so that in a year or two from now, people are like, how did you let him go? He was under your noses. Why didn't you give him an opportunity? He's got to go there with the fire in his belly to prove people wrong. But by the same token, he doesn't, because Arsenal is irrelevant. Arsenal's done. Cut all ties with Arsenal now. It's a new chapter with Hamburg. To get it, people. So I salute him, man. He wanted, like I said, man, he hasn't looked like he was wanting to be at this club for a while now, if I'm completely honest. So at least he's going somewhere. He's got the number 17 shirt at Hamburg, which implies that you're a first team player. I don't know if it'd be a thing where initially he's playing 23s and then he goes back in, which I do feel initially that. But who knows the plans for the club? He's undoubtedly had a lot of offers from, not just from Arsenal, but elsewhere, and he's probably taken his time and gone through them. Many people will say, why is he going to the second division in Germany? I mean, first and foremost, if he's playing games, he's playing games. That is better than under 23s football. And like I said, if Hamburg get promoted, he's playing in the Bundesliga. If he plays well in the second division, you know how this thing works. People will be monitoring him. These clubs know about all English youngsters. They've known about Amaechi. In fact, even if you go and look at, a lot of German clubs knew we were signing Martinelli, you know, and they were using that as a stick to kind of tempt certain players to leave the club. That is a fact. You lot know what I'm on about. So this is a thing that's going to continuously happen, people. It's going to happen. Not every young player can make it here. Do I feel Amaechi could have been given more opportunities? Of course I do. Do I feel we let him go a bit easy? Of course I do. But again, I don't want to speak too tough, but there's politics involved, and to be fair, it directly affects him, but he's been the least involved. It's stuff that he can't really control, and it's sad. For me, he's out of the situation in that it was getting a bit toxic. He's out of it in that he can just focus on football nowadays. It's the end of the chapter. Of course, I want young players to go as far as they can and do what they can, but at the end of the day, in regards to Arsenal and Amaechi, the chapter's closed. He's a bit irrelevant now in several degrees now. For me, I want him to develop. I'm always gonna watch his development and things, but he is irrelevant. The chapter's closed. We're gonna continuously lose young players, and this is something that all clubs are gonna have to accept. Competition is competition. There's always gonna be players that slip through the net. I do think we could have done more to keep Amaechi hand on heart, but these things are going to happen. Many fans are going to sit here and cry and whatnot, and of course, like I said, if he develops to the way I believe he can, Arsenal might regret this, but there's no point crying over him. He's gone now, isn't it? Like, he's gone, it's done. Wish him all the best. Like I said, to lose Amaechi, to lose Musa, Vonte Daly Campbell at fullback to Leicester, Hamburg, and obviously Valencia respectively, it sucks, but this is something that is going to happen in football, people. We're always losing players. In fact, Spurs lost, it's irrelevant to us, but Spurs lost the keeper to Celtic the other day. It's going to happen. You're going to lose battles as long as you win the war. At the end of the day, there's Nelson, there's Saka, there's allegedly a winger coming in. Martinelli, if he can develop, he develops. We might not miss Amaechi, but it is what it is, man. I would have liked him to sign a new deal, potentially been given opportunities, or go out on loan. Would have potentially, if we are going to sell him, I don't know of the clauses, but a high percentage fee. And also, I would have liked to have seen us confirm a buyback clause, but it is what it is. These things are really unrealistic from an Arsenal perspective. like I said, man, I'm personally going to speak on Amaechi unless I feel to, because there's no need to. He's irrelevant to Arsenal now. I wish him all the best. I know he's got a good circle around him, and he's got a good father, for instance, as well, that looks after him and whatnot. He's got a good family base around him, so it was probably a tough decision for everybody involved to make, but tough decisions make you grow. So he could have easily stayed at Arsenal, been in his comfort zone, playing 23s, all the fans continuously telling him how good he is. He wants to take the step up, because now in the senior game, there's going to be times when anything Amaechi touches anything Amaechi touches turns to gold, and it's amazing. There's going to be times he's just in bad form. There's going to be times he could get booed from the fans. I'm not saying I want that to happen to him, but footballers need to go through the mental and the physical sort of barriers to develop people, the consistency barriers, playing in front of 30, 40 plus stadiums and whatnot. That's what he wants. That's what's going to help him develop. He's got to do, not just him, a lot of these players got to do, for they've got to picture themselves in a year, and if they picture themselves in a year and say, how much can I develop? And if they can't really see it, they need to question it. Because Amaechi, in a year from now, Amaechi's going to be a better player. Even if you don't evidently see it, he's going to be mentally a better player through going through the season with Hamburg and stuff, similar to Nelson. That little loan spell at Hoffenheim is better than anything Nelson probably experienced for the last 2 years. Because when you're the Nelsons, the Amaechis, these maverick talents, 23 football's too easy for you. You're badding it up. Everybody's telling you how good you are. You do run the risk of becoming a big fish in a small pond. So you need to make the step up. For me, it's going to suck to see Amaechi leave, because, I mean, you look back at, what was it, just the other day, England's under 18s, it was Tyrese, John Jules, Vontae Daly, Campbell, Saka and Amaechi. You've seen 2 of them 4 names depart. It is what it is, man. I do think they could have went on to been 2 decent players in Arsenal's first team if they develop to the rate they can and are given time. At the end of the day, Amaechi's 19 now, so it is what it is. I do think if certain things were different, or possibly there were different people at the club, I do think in regards to the changes, I don't think Jeff and Amaechi would have left, to be fair, and I don't feel it's irrelevant for this, but I don't feel Koscielny's whole transfer nonsense would have been a thing. Well, it is what it is. Like I said, many clubs are going to lose talented young players time and time again, so it's just a thing of accepting it. It is what it is. I wanted Amaechi to stay. Gutted he's leaving, but it is what it is. You can't sit here and cry. Just move forward, innit? This is it. Like, there's a million problems with Arsenal right now, so I wish Amaechi all the best, but from this video on, there's no more to be said. On that note, people, Deluded, thank you for watching and rocking.